Hi there Libra, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for April. I want you to think back over the last 4 years or so when Uranus has been going through your sector of relating. It's probably been a time of extreme excitement 1 minute and then a sense of isolation the next. A time when 1 minute you've wanted intimacy but the next you've wanted space to yourself. Turbulence around relationships where you've wanted to liberate yourself from situations, not necessarily romantically, which just no longer seem to serve a purpose in your situation. But all of this has been going on largely because of the role of Uranus and its square to Pluto, which has been in your sector of emotions. Now, if your romantic life has been very settled and serene, this will have impressed on your consciousness a whole lot less. It's probably been more an abruptness about the way you've been involved in other types of relationships and how they've impacted about where you've actually lived. It could be that you've actually moved home and relationships have been part of that, like moved into a shared house and then perhaps moved into another one with another group of people. This kind of restlessness may have been possible even if your romantic situation has not been in itself particularly unpredictable. But this month is going to almost be the nadir of all this energy. And ironically, the square between Uranus and Pluto is now pretty well finished. It's not coming back in the guise that it's been manifesting over these recent years for many, many years to come. And that's something we can all celebrate because it has been a very difficult influence in the world in general. But from your viewpoint, you start this month with the Sun and Mercury in your sector of relating. And that's why there is an echo. Also, the Sun merges with the Moon on the 7th. So there's a new moon here, and this merges with Uranus. So that desire to have some kind of spark, some kind of excitement about the way you interact with others is going to be very profound throughout this month. Also, your ruler moves on the 6th into your sector of relating as well. This is a wonderful opportunity to meet somebody new, quite frankly, and not just because Venus goes through this part of your scope each year. It's because it is going to be combining with Uranus so powerfully from the 19th to the 25th, pushing you to have more confidence in yourself and perhaps step outside what you know in terms of the type of people you might feel you could connect with. With Mercury relocating on the 6th as well, it's going to give you a real instinct to get beneath the surface, to understand what people are saying to you, not in terms of the words, but in terms of deciphering this into what they really mean. In other words, the subtext. And you can have a real gift for this. If you're someone who wants to be more business-like in your approach, Mercury merges brilliantly with the planet of expansion, Jupiter, for the 12th to the 17th. And that's a chance to really listen to your hunches when it comes to business ideas. You may have to do some research, work behind the scenes, think back to past experiences, but if you feel something could work, go for it. But perhaps this month, most of all, is saying to you, Libra, you don't need people's approval and validation in order to be the person you need to be. Because in the past, perhaps your desire to do things in a way which was collaborative and cooperative, which is entirely admirable, became so skewed that you were spending your whole time worrying about what everybody else thought about you, rather than actually staying true to yourself, which means you can give and take when the circumstances are right, and at other times step out of that and be much truer to you. And that's true in the first week of this month, because Saturn in your sector of relating forges a great link to the Sun. And if there is someone you really feel you can be yourself with, you can also be really honest with them in a positive way. But equally, you can have a major clash with someone in week 1 because the Sun clashes with Pluto, a little bit like Uranus was for those 4 years. And that's what I mean about the reprise, the echo of that energy. So if you find that one relationship is unsettling and another is rather reassuring, well, that gives you something of a guideline. But it doesn't necessarily mean you should just stick with the relationships that just seem to pass over you and therefore there's not much of excitement because they keep you safe. You need to be alive to what's going on in your potentials. And if you're settling for second best, in order to have security? That could be a question you're asking yourself on the back of this month's new moon. Now Venus, as it moves, does give you an opportunity to meet people halfway. Your listening skills and diplomacy are often one of your great assets, as long as they don't become used in the wrong kind of way and you forget your identity. So go forwards, try to meet up with the right people who find that balance between giving you a sense of security, but also who are good at listening to your needs, reassuring you. It's not just all about you propping other people up. That's the key to this month. If, however, you are a bit passive, you may find that circumstances change beyond your control. Someone could do something that you're not expecting. So it is going to be important to stay very alert and on your toes. Now, as Venus combines with Uranus, it really is quite an electrifying energy. And if you do find yourself in the company of someone who really does excite you, enjoy every single minute. You might get home and feel exhilarated but also exhausted. Then the Sun moves on the 20th into the deepest, most passionate part of your scope. It's asking you to really check out, is this the end? Is this the beginning? In all sorts of areas of your life. A financial issue may require a little bit of care on the back of the full moon of the 22nd. But once your ruler moves, as this month comes to a close, it can be an opportunity to actually gain financially in quite a significant way, potentially through a legacy or a property deal. It's also possible that that connection, that electric connection that some Librans are going to enjoy at some point this month, can, by the end of this month, become something so much longer lasting and so much more profound. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.